Hello there guys, my name is Mr. Yorkie's World, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, as you can see, we've got an April 30th 2020 development update, which I found on the Microsoft Flight Simulator website, and we've got some really good screenshots which I'm going to be going through in this video. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So coming on to this first image then, we can see over the left wing of what looks to be a small or light aircraft, and I'm really impressed with the buildings there. Look at all the different buildings. They appear to have sort of different textures. They're not repeated, which is something that we've had a lot with P3D and various other simulators. We've got like small bodies of water. I don't know where this is. If anybody's got any ideas as to where it could be, feel free to show some sort of ideas in the comments section or let me know. This next photo is probably one of my favourites. We've got an Airbus, what looks like an Airbus, above the clouds. We can see the gorgeous clouds with the sort of lighting effects from the sun, the gorgeous horizon effects as well. I can see a little bit of repetitive textures there when it comes to the shapes and what have you of the clouds, but it's probably going to be unnoticeable when you're actually in the simulator. So personally, I wouldn't worry about that. And again, we don't know what it's going to look like once the simulator is 100% finalised. But look at this next image. We're over again in the cockpit of a small aircraft or light aircraft. We can see the PFD and everything, and we can see what looks to be a desert area. Again, my geography is terrible. I've got no idea where this could be. So let me know in the comments. I can see a little indicator in the top centre that looks like it's trying to tell the simmer where to fly. Maybe that's a feature that you can turn on and off, as sort of a helping hand if you don't know where you're going, etc, etc. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. This particular photo here, or screenshot here, we're looking over the right wing, and just over the right wingtip you can see maybe like a little island resort. We've got some buildings along the shoreline as well, but a lovely rainforest type of sort of setting here, tropical setting that I really would love to be able to explore once the simulator actually is released. It looks to be really detailed there with the trees and everything, and the beach just looks absolutely fantastic as well. Now here we've got what looks to be a smaller aircraft which seems to have landed in a golf course. That looks like a golf course to me. We've got the trees around it. We've got, you know, the rough areas and stuff like that. It all looks very smooth. I don't know whether it's maybe an emergency landing there, because it looks like there might be enough space for an aircraft to sort of take off or land. I'll leave that up for speculation. But look at the trees. The trees look really good as well. They're all merged together and things really do look quite realistic in this photo. Now here, I would say this is maybe Istanbul. Again, I'm just throwing it out there, but we've got like an Airbus in the air there, flying over sort of a sunset in like a hazy city that looks to be like Istanbul. I would describe it as Istanbul, and it looks really good as well. Nice amounts of detail there on the buildings and things like that. And we've also got 23 FPS in the bottom right-hand corner, so maybe that's a sort of indication as to how many FPS we'd get in that area. Moving on to this next picture, we can see that we've got a nice small, it looks like a Coronado actually, aircraft flying over a mountainous area which has got some light vegetation as well. And overall, it looks to be a really nice photo. We've got the sky textures again. It looks to be a nice clear day. We've got sort of terrain in the background as well, which still seems quite detailed, even though it's in the distance. So that's something to look forward to as well in terms of how things render at a distance in the simulator. We can see it a little bit better in this one. Again, we've got like an aircraft in the air there, but then we can see the horizon. We can see the mountainous area and we can see the shadows and stuff like that with a nice little river or stream going through the big sort of canyon there is what I would call it of mountains and things like that. And it looks really detailed. There's not many areas that are sort of copied and pasted, if you will. It's areas such as this that I would like to explore when I get back into full flight videos. I'd like to do a few exploration sessions, if you will. But look at these clouds in this next image. Look how detailed this entire thing looks. I don't think we've seen something like this in P3D or in X-Plane or anything, unless it's an add-on. I am extremely excited to see what this is going to look like up close and personal when the simulator actually releases, because just look at that. It is absolutely fantastic, absolutely magnificent is what I would describe the realism in terms of the clouds there, with all the different layers and different types of clouds. Now in this next image we can see what looks to be sort of a glimpse into what the multiplayer is going to look like. We've got an Airbus, we're in the cockpit, But to the right there, we've got David and a bunch of numbers, which I'm assuming is his username, with another Airbus, which is very close to us. So you can see that it looks like we're flying in formation. I like the cockpit. It's very detailed inside as well. Whether it all functions the way that it should, that's another story. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, very interesting to see sort of maybe a multiplayer there. And here we can see sort of a mountainous or hilly area, either sunset or sunrise. It looks like a sunset, to be fair, with the haze in the background. We've got a nice sort of reflection from the sun there. The clouds, again, are looking absolutely fantastic alongside that foggy effect and things like that are in this image. It really helps to add to that realism, basically. And of course, it's always been something that the community has wanted, is extra realism when it comes to the weather effects, and of course the environmental ones as well. Now here we see another light aircraft flying quite low to the ground over a nicely lit sort of mountainous, maybe sort of town slash city. I have absolutely no idea. Again, geography for me is something that I'm a complete failure. But anyway, you can see the lovely lighting effects. It really looks nice. The street lights look good. The reflections look really good. Especially on the aircraft, you can see the reflection of the sunlight as well from maybe the sunset or something. Now, this next one is magnificent. Look at the amount of detail that has been put into this building. I'm not sure whereabouts this building is, but you can see it just looks brilliant. The amount of detail, to say this is going to be on the ground and you could be flying above, you know, and normally in P3D you wouldn't see this level of detail. It is absolutely just magnificent. The textures are fantastic. Again, if anybody knows where this could be in the world, feel free to comment and let me know, because I've got absolutely no idea. So moving on to this next picture then, we can see again another small aircraft, light aircraft, approaching what looks to be a large body of water with a nice big mountain in the background. Again, lovely clouds above that. You look at the clouds, look at the detail. Now the aircraft, I've not spoke much about aircraft, but look at the reflections on the aircraft as well. Very subtle. Very similar to PBR effects and things like that, and the shadowing as well looks brilliant. But look at that, near sort of the shoreline, you can see the changing colour of the water and everything. It is absolutely brilliant. And this one is even better. This is probably, again, one of my favourites. Look at those clouds. Look at the reflections off of that wing. Look at the sunshine. Just look at it. It's absolutely fantastic. Again, the shadowing on those clouds as well adds to the realism. This is sort of worthy of being, or it would be if it was higher resolution, of being sort of like a wallpaper or something. It is absolutely brilliant. And again, this is obviously straight out of the box. This is not something that is going to have to be done through an add-on by the looks of it. Hopefully, anyway. So anyway, we're moving on. The Statue of Liberty. Yes, I know what this one is. The Statue of Liberty, and look at the detail on this particular aircraft here. We've got the detail on the aircraft, we've got the detail on the statue. The statue is very detailed, even down to sort of like shadowing effects. Not sure whether they're rendered or whether they're actually just textures, but it looks brilliant. The clouds there in the background as well. The reflections from the aircraft, the grass in the bottom left, and the vegetation in the right-hand side of the image. Everything really comes together. And you can see more of that vegetation in this picture. Again, a mountainous area. You can see the nice little water bodies there. And the amount of trees, I love how they sort of merge into each other. They don't sort of just repeat all the time. It's not always the same model. And they look as if they're actually there. They're not just sort of 2D objects. They actually do look as if they're there. And they're looking very good, in fact. And again, we've got the gorgeous sky there, which I already mentioned, the horizon, the lighting effects, which causes those shadows to happen. Now, next up, this is something I've wanted to see, is the winter effects. Look how the trees, sort of the snow is on the trees, the water looks like it's almost nearly frozen. Everything looks very bright because of obviously the time of year. And I'm really excited to see if every zone of the world will have this same effect if it is snowing. And if you set that in the sim, will it actually reflect the same sort of details as what we see in this particular image? Or is this image just limited to this area? It will depend whether it's very dynamic. This next image, again, we've got what looks to be several aircraft coming maybe into land or maybe departing. We've got the mountainous area, the nice amount of vegetation, the clouds, which all add to the effect, and it looks to be taken in maybe sort of like an early morning or sort of early evening setting, basically. Again, it looks brilliant, absolutely fantastic. As I mentioned previously, I will be interested in doing a lot more light aircraft flying from now on, especially in the new simulator, because this picture, again, we've got some vegetation, different types of vegetation actually here. I'm not sure whether it's the picture quality or the resolution. It looks a little bit less sort of detailed from the previous ones, but still it looks nice. The reflection from the sun on the aircraft looks very nice as well, and the sky textures and that sort of haze effect that you get in the background, it still looks very, very nice, very believable. So it's something that maybe it's just the resolution of the picture that's causing it to be pixelated. And finally, we have this absolutely gorgeous photo here. In my opinion, an absolutely fantastic way to finish this video, if it wasn't for the sort of watermark, but obviously they have to be on there for legal reasons at this point. It looks absolutely magnificent. Just look at how nice that reflection from the sun sort of is caught by the body of the aircraft, and it sort of gives you sort of this like warm feeling that FS 2020 is on its way, if you will. Maybe that's just me over-exaggerating. But yeah, overall, I am very, very happy with the simulator and how it's looking. This update from Microsoft, there was a little bit more information. These screenshots is not the only information that was involved. But I thought, just for the sake of this video, we will just show off those screenshots, because why not? Everybody's been telling me to do these sorts of videos, to actually give my opinions on these pictures, videos, the footage, the news and things like that. So I thought, why not? Let's just throw something out there and let's review this new piece of information that's just come from Microsoft on the 30th of April. So without further ado, those, should I say, are my views on the new screenshots. I may well do another update video once we have some news from Microsoft that's a little bit more in depth as to what we can expect. So if there's something more exciting that's on its way, I will definitely be doing a video on that as well. In the meantime, I'm just literally about to start doing P3D version 5 videos, so look out for that. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.